let's talk about weeds. But before we do that, I think it's important to define what a weed is. A weed is simply a plant that is out of place, which means you, as a gardener, get to determine what is a weed, as what is a desirable plant, and which one you deem is out of place. Now keep in mind though, as we've cleaned out our garden beds, weeds are simply plants, and they will also enjoy the warmer temperatures and the more moisture that comes with spring, which means a lot of those weed seeds are going to start germinating right along with your perennials that are growing and other seeds that you might have put out. So here's a few tips to consider in order to control your weeds this season. It's often said that one of the best things that you can keep in the garden is your own shadow, meaning that you should regularly be visiting your garden and visually inspecting that garden, not only for the desirable plants, but also some of the undesirable plants or the weeds that you might be finding coming up. Now, so often as a gardener, whether it's my garden or not, a lot of times gardeners have this need to just want to pull weeds when they see them. And so something as simple as pulling a few weeds as you go through the garden can help eliminate that weed problem before it gets too big, especially if you get them while they're small. Another way of suppressing your weed growth is simply by covering that warming soil, preventing some of those seeds from actually germinating. And one of the best covers to put out into your garden is some shredded hardwood mulch. So not only does it help the soil retain that moisture and prevent the loss to evaporation, but it also will make it a little bit more difficult for some of those weed seedlings to get germinated. The other benefit of adding hardwood mulch into your landscape is that it's also adding organic matter as it breaks down through the season. Now, there's one more option that you can use for weeds, and that is a pre or a post-emergent, basically your chemical options. So here we have a pre-emergent, which basically you just sprinkle it amongst your other plants. It's not going to affect anything that has already come up and germinated. However, it will prevent some seeds from germinating, specifically weed seeds. But you always want to make sure to check the label so that if you have put out beneficial seeds, that it doesn't interfere with their germination as well. And finally, the last thing you want to keep in mind is anytime you're using any sort of herbicide is that you always check the label, because the label is the law. The other thing is you might look at a post-emergent. So if you see weeds that are coming up already, then as the name implies, you would want to apply a post-emergent, meaning that you apply it to green weeds that are already up, and that will cause them to die. The other thing to consider is herbicides are either selective or non-selective. So a selective herbicide might target a specific type of plant, like a grassy weed or a broadleaf weed, whereas non-selective herbicides will basically be detrimental to anything that is green. So again, whether this is an option for you or not, that is up for you to choose, but it is an option also to help you have a successful garden this spring.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.